Hi, and welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. The program is Focal Point. The network is AFR Talk, scheduled to talk with Representative John Fleming from the 4th District of Louisiana about the effort that President Obama intends to make by issuing 19 or possibly up to 19 executive orders to try to institute gun control on his own initiative. We'll talk with Representative Fleming about the constitutional issues involved in that. Now, if you are a part of the American Family Association Action Alert, then you received an action alert from us on Friday urging you to weigh in on this issue of the Second Amendment. It's the first time we as an organization have ever weighed in on a Second Amendment issue, and what we encourage you to do is be mindful. And if you didn't get the alert, like see what we did, go to our website, afa.net, and you can go to the alert button on the top right there, and you can pull it up, and you can see what we did, and you can take action. We provided a way for you to contact your state legislators and your governor and urge them to protect the Second Amendment rights of the people in your state. And we've already heard here in our local area, we've already heard from our state legislators who told us they're at work on it right now as we speak, and from the governor's office saying he's a strong supporter of the Second Amendment. Now, what Wyoming did, and this is now being duplicated in any number of states, is Wyoming has crafted a piece of legislation that would make it a felony offense for anybody to try to enforce federal gun control laws in the state of Wyoming. They would be unenforceable in the state of Wyoming. And law enforcement in the state of Wyoming could arrest anybody who was trying to enforce a ban on assault weapons or high-capacity magazines in the state of Wyoming. By the way, President Obama was referring to them yesterday as magazine clips. There is no such thing as a magazine clip. So, hey, go ahead and ban them. Ban them all you want. Ban magazine clips. They're gone. They're history. They're out here. They don't even exist, so he's not banning anything. But that gives you, and I didn't even know. I mean, I just found out yesterday that they're supposed to be referred to as magazines and not clips. I just always referred to them as clips because that seems to be the kind of the street language for them. But technically, they're magazines. If they have more than one round in a sleeve, it's a magazine. It's not a clip. But there is no such thing as a magazine clip, and that's all President Obama was talking about yesterday. Now, the state of Texas is following suit. I'm looking at an article here from WOAI Local News. Here's a Texas proposal to jail any federal officials who try to enforce new gun restrictions in the state of Texas. This measure would make any federal firearms legislation passed by Congress or approved by presidential order unenforceable in Texas. So this legislation, Wyoming's doing this, other states are doing the same thing. They'd be saying to President Obama, hey, go ahead. Issue all the executive orders you want. We're going to ignore them here in our state. So when we get to the bottom of the hour, we're going to love to get your reaction to all of that. Now, you're familiar with James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe has done some undercover videos. He was the one that did the undercover video where he was virtually forced to take the ballot that belonged to Eric Holder. He didn't identify himself as Eric Holder. He just said, do you have Eric Holder? And the registrar there looks up Eric Holder, finds his name on the list, and hands him a ballot. Eric Holder is black. He's in his 50s. James O'Keefe is white. He's in his 20s. She didn't ask for any identification. He said, no, that's okay. I want to go get my ID to show you that I'm him. She said, you don't need that. Here, take the ballot. I mean, she practically forced him to take somebody else's ballot. So it's a clear evidence of how easy it is to commit voter fraud in America when you don't have any photo ID regulations. That's the James O'Keefe. He's the one that busted Acorn wide open. Well, he and his group went to the homes of some of the journalists that work for the newspaper that published the names of all of the gun owners. Had a burglary, by the way, over the weekend that was at the home of one of the people that was identified on that newspaper's map as a gun owner, and they went right for the gun safe. In other words, here's a map. Says you go burgle this home. They're going to have guns, so they wait till the people leave. Then they bust into the home and go to the safe to try to get the guns. So it became a home invasion map for people looking to boost guns they can turn around and sell them to gangbangers for profits, untraceable, or it gets traced back to a legal gun owner and they run into a dead end. So James O'Keefe went to the homes of these journalists, the people that work for the newspaper. They're against guns. Guns are terrible. We think guns are horrible. Guns kill people. Can't have guns. Got to get rid of guns. So they went to their homes, their home addresses, and said, look, we've got these signs. We'd like to put one in your yard that declares this house a gun-free house. This is a gun-free zone. By the way, there's a petition on the White House website to create a gun-free zone around the president. If guns are bad, then let's get rid of guns. We got too many guns around the president. You got those Secret Service guys. They have guns. Got to get rid of guns. Guns kill people. Guns are dangerous. We got to create a gun-free zone around the president for his own protection. So if you want to sign that petition, it's up on the White House website. So here's James O'Keefe, goes to the, this guy is an editor or a journalist at this newspaper, and they knock on his door. Would you like to have a gun-free sign in your yard? Here's how the exchange went.
I agree with you, and I am on your side on this, but I'm just wondering if that's not an invitation to somebody with a gun. You want to sign up?
But you're concerned that if you say you're gun-free, somebody with a gun's going to come and...
I think, yeah.
And I put signs out. The problem in this town is, somebody driving by around here might think might think it's an invitation to come barging in.
Isn't that hilarious? I mean, that's so hilarious. No, I'm not going to put that sign in my yard because somebody would find out I'm absolutely defenseless and want to break in. Now, they go to a guy by the name of Toure. He is a commentator on MSNBC. I don't know much about him, and he's never said anything that has made any sense to me that I have seen. But he's a big anti-gun guy. Got to get rid of guns. Guns are terrible. And President Obama, by the way, when he rolls out all these executive orders, he's going to be surrounded by children. These are children that his own gun control policies are jeopardizing. He's putting them at risk by refusing them the possibility of having protection, Second Amendment protections. Another school district, I've got the story in the stack here, 5-0, the school board said, we want to arm custodians. They're going to allow school personnel, starting with the custodians, who have concealed carry permits to carry on campus to protect their precious charges. So they go to Toure's home, knock on his door, and ask him, this is big Mr. Anti-Gun guy, they ask him, do you want a gun-free zone sign for your yard? Here's how that exchange went.
I agree with you in terms of gun control.
I'm sorry. Are you the same one that's on TV?
Yeah.
And so then we can assume that you're not a gun owner yourself and there are no guns there.
No, I'm not a gun owner.
What are the chances we could get something like on this door? I notice it's all like a glass door in the front, something that just says, this building probably gun-free or something like that.
That I'd have
to. Well, how about a gun-free zone sign for your yard? Been nice talking to you. I agree with you. No thanks on the sign. Now, Janet Napolitano wants to disarm you, but here's the story. American Thinker, the Department of Homeland Security now has 1.4 billion rounds of ammunition. They don't want you and me to have any, but the Department of Homeland Security, not the military, 1.4 billion rounds. Back in 2.